If you have markets you're interested in, this is a good method to generate potential ideas. First, pick a market. For this example, we will use the agriculture market. Then pick a date in the future. We recommend something in the range between 2 and 10 years. In the leftmost section of the canvas, sketch out ideas about what this market will look like at the time you specified. Think realistically, but also creatively, as technology does move fast. For example, we might suppose that in 5 years, agriculture will have a greater emphasis on local production with fewer imported goods in order to reduce the environmental impact of this market. It's hard to tell depending on what legal jurisdiction you're in, but it is likely that the debate surrounding genetically modified organisms will still be relevant to the sector in 5 to 10 years' time. Other trends we might want to include in this section are the movement towards more organic fertilizer and organically certified produce. Other factors that can be listed here are the high levels of food waste, both at the farmer level as well as between the sellers of produce and grocery sellers. In the middle section of the canvas, we focus on threats to the sector. For agriculture, this would come primarily from climate and demographic factors. For example, a growing global population is increasing demand for produce, whilst climate factors are dramatically reducing the amount of arable land that's available for agriculture. Other threats emerge in areas with high use of inorganic fertilizer that lead to soil degradation and damage local ecosystems. The agricultural sector is also affected by migration away from rural areas and into urban areas. With these threats in mind, we fill in the last third of the canvas, opportunities. For example, if we are concerned with high levels of migration into urban areas, an opportunity that's identified in this section might be urban farming. This can then be expanded upon to include things like hydroponics and vertical farming. Urban farming can also lead to opportunities surrounding peer-to-peer produce selling. The issue of overuse of inorganic fertilizer can be combined with the issue of food waste and turned into an opportunity to use household food waste to crowdsource organic fertilizer that can then be resold to farmers for profit. These ideas can sometimes sound a little sci-fi, and not all of them will sound feasible, but here it's important to identify testable potentials. As we will learn later, all business ideas are inherently based on assumptions, so it's okay if you have doubts about the opportunities you have identified. Remember to keep going back to the previous ideation techniques like your passion or the final method to find possible markets to explore, and then cross-reference them with your skills to see where you could make the most impact.